It's been a hot minute since I ripped off somebody else's content to make a video out of. So today we're going to be revisiting the Can You Fix It series, Can We Fix It series, Can I Fix It series. I don't even remember the name of my own show, and now that I've scared off any potential new viewers to my channel who think that I'm an absolute nut job, let me describe what we're going to be doing today. So, a lot of my newer viewers, I've had about 8,000 subscribers join the club since the last time I made one of these videos. So essentially, just to kind of map out what we do in this series is I choose a character, or in the ye old days, back in the old prime of the channel, I'd pick two characters, and I would talk about how we could fix them, what their problem was, that kind of thing, how I think they can be altered in a way that would make them more sustainable within the current meta of Apex Legends. So today we're going to be visiting Bangalore. Now, I've actually never touched on her before, which is pretty interesting because she was one of my favorite characters when I first started playing. And originally, I wasn't even going to make a video on her. I still haven't made one on Wraith, just because Wraith is such a touchy subject. There's so many different things that could be done to her, like tiny things that would literally break her character one way or the other. But the spotlight today, as I already previously mentioned, is going to be on Bangalore, aka Anita Williams. And we're going to be trying to figure out what is wrong with her in the first place. Why is she not, like, in a sustainable place within the meta? Obviously, her pick rate is substantially higher than a majority of other legends, but why don't we see her in ranked play, in pro play? Why is she only really there in a casual environment? And it boils down to a couple things. But before we get into that, I'm gonna just let you know what we're actually gonna be talking about today. So over on Twitter, I ran into an article that somebody had posted on July 6th. So that was 3 days ago when you're watching this. That was a little bit less than 2 days ago when I'm recording this. Also, really quick, I know I'm breaking the immersion here, but at the end of this video, I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway that I started 2 days ago. I know I'm going a little bit over, but I wanted to say it in a video, just so everybody knows. I don't like just pinning somebody and saying, oh yeah, you won. It doesn't really seem as special as saying their name in a video. Okay, back to what we're actually talking about today. So I don't know what website this is. It's called like Twitlonger. Is that a bad word? Can I say that? It sounds like it should be a bad word. But this dude named Pooch, or at @VPoochV, said, I have some ideas for a Bangalore rework / buff, and then goes into some different things. Now, the reason that this garnered my attention is that some of the devs actually responded to this, saying that they thought these were great ideas and that they think that they could actually be implemented. So to lay out why Bangalore needs some altering in the first place, at least from my perspective, I haven't mained her in quite a while, since I made the switch towards the middle or end of season 3. But her problem is, one, the smoke. It does just as much harm as it does good in some cases. Now, let me clarify that, because a lot of Bangalore mains really like to fight me on this, and I understand why. I fully understand why. If you are a really good Bangalore player, you know where you can put your smoke for it to be the most effective. You can use it to res, you can use it to loot bodies, that kind of thing. However, the second a digital threat enters the environment, whether that be just a regular digi or in the form of a 4 to 10 times scope, your tactical ability essentially becomes a weapon to be used against you. Even in other situations, if you're smoking and someone pushes you through the smoke, sometimes you can end up on the wrong side of where you want to be and you can get caught out, or if someone just blindly sprays into the smoke. As somebody who's both been Bangalore and played against a lot of Bangalores, I can say with about 100% certainty that you will encounter a lot of situations where your smoke can be used against you. Additionally, her ultimate ability takes so long to charge, and essentially its main purpose, if you're using it correctly, is to create space. Her barrage is just a tool to throw down, and it either allows you to push in against players and fill that area in between you and them, or it creates space. If you drop it on yourself, it forces people away from you. Now, it is a great tool, but it just doesn't feel like that wait is worth it. She has one of the longest ult cooldowns in the game. And I honestly I don't see it being the equivalent to Gibraltar's godly ultimate ability that he has, or like Watson's pylon. Although that's a different story now that it got changed, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. It's just not worth the time that it takes. So let's get into Pooch's ideas here, and I'm gonna go through and talk about whether or not I think they would fit in the game and that kind of thing. You'll catch my drift. You guys are smart. So he says for his first part, when the ult comes down, it should explode faster and does not stun teammates, but still can stun / bang and reduced damage of ult from 40 to 20. So we got to break that down a little bit. Basically, it explodes faster when it lands. It no longer stuns your teammates, but it has a nerf. So I like the balance here. It's not just a straight buff. You're actually getting that damage reduction from 40 down to 20. So I think that this would be a really great way to increase the likelihood that you're actually going to hit somebody with your ultimate, because they might not have the time to get out of the way of it, which I think is good. While Bangalore's ability should be used more defensively, it can be used offensively, and I like that it would have that other side to it. Now, if you're following along when I have this up on screen, I'm going to skip a little bit just because he has these in a little bit of a weird order. But number 3 is, as Bangalore's ult comes down, her double time activates for 3 to 4 seconds, so she can run through and pass her ult if needed. Now, this to me is genius. I've thought a lot about how Bangalore could be changed a little bit, like tweaked here and there, and I'd never thought of this. I've never seen anybody else talk about it either. So this, I think, would remedy a lot of issues with Bangalore's ultimate ability, combined with the number 1 that we talked about. I think it would boost Bangalore's ultimate up to definitely not the number 1 best ultimate, but it would definitely boost it up to a much higher position, a much more valued and powerful ultimate, one that I actually would really like to see, because it would just give Bangalore so much more versatility, and I like characters that can be used in a lot of different ways. There seems to be a pretty sharp stigma with a lot of characters in Apex that either they're strictly defensive characters or they're strictly offensive characters, and I like the ones that can play both ends of the spectrum. Those to me are the ones that will perform the best in the long run, you know, because a lot of the other ones are fun for casual, but I like characters that can be used all over the board. Now, moving back to number 2, as Bangalore is running and her double time activates, whatever gun she has holstered reloads. If you have an R99 and an R301, only your second gun will reload. I'm not entirely sure what that example means. I'm going to try to interpret it though. The best that I can make out of that is whatever gun you have in your secondary position. So if you have like an R99 in your first slot and your R301 in your second slot, even if both guns are holstered, only the 301 will get reloaded. Now, this is similar to what we have with Crypto right now, and this is fine. It won't be that huge of a change in my opinion. It's just a nice little buff, which won't really impact her tremendously, but sure, I mean, you could throw it in there. I don't think it'll change a whole lot, but it would be very nice for that to be an addition that's also made to her. And the last one is when Bangalore shoots the smoke, it's not as thick for her, so she can see through it a bit better than others. Now, this is an idea that I've toyed with since the drop of the game, since I first picked up Bangalore and was playing her, is that I really wish there was like a slightly lower opacity to the smoke for Bangalore if she's the one who shot it. Or actually, you know what? I think she should have a slightly lower opacity for any Bangalore smoke. So even if a different Bangalore shoots it, kind of like you have with Caustic. That way it balances out with other teams who could potentially be shooting smoke. But it can't be anything too crazy, because then you could just run into a fight while smoking the ground and just kill everyone. It would be like an instant Nox trap, where the enemy wouldn't be able to find you and you could easily slaughter them. Just kind of wrapping up with the thoughts though, Pooch says, to be honest, the most annoying thing about Bangalore is her ult takes way too long to charge. and for it to do nothing but slow the fight down and scatter everyone everywhere and stun my team. People just chill behind a twig and they're safe, or behind a rock. If the devs just fix her ult, I think most people would be fine with just that and nothing else has to be changed. While I do agree with him, I think the smoke is also something that really needs to be looked at. As I said though, like a very slight opacity change to it for Bangalore. Maybe if she could see, like, you know, maybe a couple more meters in front of her than other people. Just that way, if she comes up against someone who has a digital threat, it's not like she's gonna get instantly melted without even knowing where the bullets are coming from. That's really my main concern, because she becomes completely useless later on. Because once you hit late game, there's a very, very, very high chance that the teams you're going to be coming up against will have digital threat in some form or another. So let me know what you think. How would you guys personally change Bangalore if you would do anything to her? And also let me know what characters I haven't covered yet that you'd like to see, or any characters that need to be redone, like the devs have somehow broke them worse or they're now overpowered. Anything like that. I love to hear your feedback on these kinds of videos and ones that you would like to see me do in the future. However, before I sign off, we gotta do our winner of the giveaway, who I picked randomly by looking around my room, and the first two letters I saw, I hit Control F on the community post, and the person that I got was Captain Kraber, who says, "I've got young blood and it's my favorite. I like the skin because it's got an awesome intro animation and it feels so much like Bloodhound." So I've already replied to you over on that community tab. If you haven't responded already, you can reach me on Twitter at RemixTitan, or you can send me an email, titangaming365@gmail.com, or you can send me a message over on Discord and I will get that code to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much to everyone who entered. There will be another giveaway next week, so stay tuned for that. However, that is going to be all for me for today though, guys. So until tomorrow, take it easy.